band that by every definition has always done things their own way, Sheffield-born While She Sleeps have slowly but surely been crafting an empire under themselves, returning back on the scene following their sensational ode to togetherness that was You Are We. While She Sleeps broke new ground once more with their single Antisocial, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. So join me this week as I review While She Sleeps' brand new album, So What? So what makes this record stand out amongst their previous achievements? If anything, it's this fierce, creative, experimental nature that the band have adopted that is put against their now pretty much patented songwriting technique. There are elements that fans will be right at home with, for example, those cherry-picked leads that really add that sense of tension, and then those stadium championing choruses that we all know and love. But there are some sections which come as a really cool, interesting surprise. During a single track that kicks off the album, Antisocial goes through many different musical motifs. And a lot of them are these experimental nature that the band have not necessarily played around with. For example, a rap section, and then we go into this almost drum and bass style drop.
We've been dealt, sick from the drugs that they tell me to take. I'm sick of the drugs that we take to rebel. I'm sick of corruption.
And this new modern sound runs throughout So What. Be it an electronic breakdown, a vocal effect on Inspire, or those Tom Morello style whooshy leads on the title track So What. And there's even choir sections on Haunt Me. So what is it that makes the atmosphere on this record so unique? From the moment that Antisocial kicks off, there's this really ominous, revolutionary kind of atmosphere that the band have adopted. And for good reason, really, because the record is very much about, talking about political climates and the idea of the social change in the world at large. Capitalising on the strengths of You Are We, While She Sleeps now tightened up their sound to really include sections where there is literally no fat. So what did I mean about the choruses? Well, essentially the choruses are, as we know, the While She Sleeps' secret weapon, and there really are so many that if I spoke about them throughout the video, I'd never finish. But it never becomes overdone or overly repetitive, and each track has a very specific identity that sits within the context of the album. Personal highlights for me include I've Seen It All, Back of My Mind, Guilty Party. However, nothing prepares you for the absolutely huge crescendo that's on Gates of Paradise, and it really leaves the album on a fantastically poignant note. It creates almost this distorted evangelical sound that the band have patented. And it's all about the idea of ebb and flow as well. For example, on I've Seen It All, following this massive riff, then kind of drops out and we've got that really crystal clear, clean delay sound before the vocals slowly but surely come back into the mix with the drums, and then we go back into the chorus and it's just like boom all over again. Of course, build-up is the band's best ally, as evidenced on the Guilty Party.
Have you reached the loading? Welcome to the Guilty Party!
So what does that mean about the heavy sections? Don't worry, amongst all of this experimental nature of the band, they definitely have not forgotten where they come from. The initial riff of Elephant has this kind of quintessential groove to it, but then it's the layered section of that massive slide that just sounds like a block of wood smacking you in the head.
There's a life on the line, you come from a price, and fucking there's an elephant in the rose, and the page another headline.
Yet later in the track we're brought into the more melodic sound, and slowly but surely the tension is again built back up. And particularly hats off to the drummer on this bit, because I think that he did a fantastic job of creating that tension. And as the nimble guitar lead returns, the drums change once, they change twice, and then it's boom, straight back into that chorus. And it's genius. And it's also a testament to understand just how much this band pushed themselves. I really strongly urge you to watch the documentary So What, and you can see that Loz has had his third round of vocal surgery, the drummer has injured, I think it was like his wrist or his hand, and this band really pushed themselves with every single release. And I honestly think that that is what makes up So What. Having previously listened to You Are We, there are some absolutely standout tracks on that album, but I always found myself waning a little bit as the listen went on. Here with So What, my attention was there 100% throughout the entire ride. There is no space on this album which has been wasted, and everything works with the idea of dynamics. It's a fantastic record, and for me, the best album that While She Sleeps have released to date. And it's exactly what we need in 2019, and this is a band that is pushing the future forward. And for that reason, I'm giving the record a 5 out of 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out all my album reviews, interviews, all sorts of good stuff. Let me know in the comments sections of what you thought of the video and the singles so far. I'd love to know. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next week for another album review. Take care, friends.